Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, wherever you are in the world. And it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to the Informatica Cloud Winter 2014 webinar. I'm joined today with Prateek Parekh. Prateek, how are you today?
Doing very well, Clive.
Fantastic. And actually, it's going to be easy for me today because Prateek, I think, is going to do most of the work. So without any more delay, the agenda is a packed agenda today. We have some great stuff to show you for Winter 2014. There's a bunch of enhancements and a bunch of new innovation, way more than we have for an hour. But anyway, we're going to talk about Winter 2014. We're going to talk a little bit about Dreamforce, which is coming up next week. So there's going to be a shameless plug there. We've got a small section of question and answers, and then there's some next steps for you, all you folks there, to try some things out. So what did we announce yesterday? So yesterday we issued the press release. It was Informatica Cloud 2014. In the core platform itself, or in the core cloud integration piece, we've got some service and process integration, which we will see momentarily. We've got something like global repository, midstream writer, outbound messaging support for templates. We'll see all of that too. In addition, some of the other products that are in the suite, so Cloud Test Data Management, Cloud Extend Process Automation, and Cloud Data Quality Services, Cloud DQ. With that, I'm actually going to pass the ball to Prateek, and there we go. And I'll be back a bit later on to sort of wrap up. So, Prateek.
Thanks, Clive. Hello, everyone. As Clive mentioned, it's a jam-packed release, so I'll get started straight away. And what you see on the screen is a typical on-premise integration center of excellences. And as a lot of you may attest to, that the world was split into two, where a lot of integration happened, especially at the batch level, for handling data warehousing, analytics at the data integration tier. And then when people talked about service-oriented architecture or event-driven architecture, and at that point people looked at and referred to that as an application integration. We believe that in the cloud things are converging, things are unifying, and rightly so. And what you need is not different suites to do different levels of integrations or different tiers of integrations at data, service, or process, but you want to bring all of that together in a one unified, comprehensive environment. And that's exactly and there is, in my view, there are set trends actually driving that pattern. So let me go over this slide, which actually goes over what are the forces behind this comprehensive integration platform, or a unification of integration paradigms. On the top right, the red box is fragmented SaaS market, and that is real. While cloud is offering a lot of value to the businesses, one of the key things that we are noticing is that there are a number of SaaS applications, and no one or two SaaS application actually is doing an end-to-end business processes that most of our customers are looking for. So the market is definitely fragmented, and that means that there are silos of data created with each of those applications, and that needs to be brought together if an enterprise, if a customer is looking to solve an end-to-end business process. The good news is that unlike in the on-premise world, where there were a lot of proprietary standards, things in the cloud are pretty standard. So the applications, all of these SaaS applications, they do a very good job of exposing their applications in a standard interfaces. Be it web services or RESTful. RESTful is more dominant than web services in the cloud, but that is a very good thing. It abstracts and it encapsulates the processes underneath, and they are offering, and we have a right level of integration endpoints to talk to. That brings me to the yellow box there on the bottom right, which talks about the coarse-grained level of integration, rather than the fine-grained level of integration that used to be the case in most of the EAI world. This one is sort of more at an abstract level, more at a coarse-grained level. And what that means is that you don't want the whole complexity of an on-premise EAI tooling over in the cloud. You want a very simple environment, an orchestration environment, to actually bring these two applications, to bring these two endpoints together. And that's, again, a very important thing when we look at the cloud integration. And finally, and that brings us to the fourth point, the gray box there, that is the real value of cloud, that everything what we do and what we provide as part of cloud integration or cloud services, it needs to be simple, it needs to be easy to use, it needs to offer the agility that customers are looking for. And those are the key forces in our view that is bringing these three technologies together, the three, if you will, the three tiers of integration together in one unified integration, what I call as that cloud integration, at all three levels of data, service, and process. That vision is, as you can see, is what is driving Informatica Cloud. So Informatica Cloud today is a very comprehensive data management and integration platform. With Winter 2014, what we have done is we have brought in all these paradigms of integrations together under a comprehensive platform. It is a multi-tenant environment with a very simple to use user interfaces for management, for your integrations, and it provides the right level of security that one should expect as a cloud service. I would elaborate more on that slide going forward and dive directly into the runtime portion of it, which I said as a unified platform that brings in the data, service, process, and B2B. What you see on the right-hand side are all the data management and data integration services or purpose-built applications that we provide, and most of our customers are using this extensively, starting from data loading application, data synchronization, data replication, process automation, and so on. But the key thing here is the platform is an open platform that now allows you to do custom applications and custom integrations as well. More advanced use cases if you have, you will be able to address that, not just at a data integration tier that we always offered, but now with this new introduction of service and process integration, which I'm going to talk about briefly, we are expanding those use cases over into service integration, process integration, B2B integration, and application extensions. So there's one platform which can address all these various patterns and use cases that our customers have for the cloud integration. Let me dive a little bit more into what we mean by service integration and process integration. So service integration, think request response, think SOA in the cloud. You have, in this particular example, in this pattern, what we are showing you is there is, on Salesforce in this case, you want to bring in some on-premise data, you want to access your on-premise service that actually brings in either the pricing information as is shown in this case, or historical information, or some sensitive data that exists, but it's bringing it in a transient way as a transient data on your Salesforce screen. So this is a classic mashup use case which a lot of our customers are looking to address. And what we have and what you need in this case is a web services provider and consumer capability. What you also need in this case is a protocol transformation. And as we have shown here, you want to, the Salesforce does REST very well, so you may want to use REST to reach out to Informatica Cloud, your integration, but then your internal ESB is actually listening to only secure web services. So you want to transform that into a secure web services and bring that thing. And that level of ESB-like functionality is something which is required, and this is what this pattern talks about. The other pattern 2, actually goes into more advanced use case where you not only want to access services in real time, but now you are actually orchestrating a big business process. And as this example shows, we have shown you an opportunity to order business process leveraging three endpoints. One is on Salesforce, which is generating the opportunity where the sales team is actually working on, and the other endpoint is actually NetSuite, where you want to actually do the order creation and do the order fulfillment. And then in between, you have some human workflows involved where you want to actually approve, and you want to have some human integration, human workflow involved to actually address some approvals and task flows. So what we show here is a BPMN 2.0 diagramming, and this is something that we are introducing in Winter 2014 release as well, where you can actually do the whole modeling. You can do the whole modeling with Informatica Cloud, and then the runtime that it generates is a Beeple 2.0 execution environment to execute this whole end-to-end business process. The other good thing about this release is that you can actually manage the whole end-to-end business process via Informatica Cloud. So again, that's the key thing. And as you can see, this is much more sophisticated and complex business process that has things such as correlation. It has multiple paths, as you can see. It also has conditions, and it actually has, if you look at it, the whole process is a long running. So from moving that particular opportunity to order, it may take a week, it may take a month or a year, and this process will be active till that business process is actually complete. So that is the power that we are bringing into Winter 2014 release.
Hey, Prateek, something I wanted to notice. If you go back one slide,
yeah,
and if you go back again, you're also changing sort of protocols there, right? So even though you're doing a request response, you're doing a REST call that then gets translated to a SOAP call to talk to like the enterprise service bus there that you showed.
Absolutely.
So it's more than just a simple request response, right? There's much more power in that.
There's more power to it. This is exactly the type of use cases that we are seeing from our customers, where the request originates in one protocol, and if it is cloud-based, it's very likely it will be a REST-based call. But then the internal systems are actually listening in a very different way, and most of it, if customers have implemented service-oriented architecture, they don't have to redo any of those work. They can actually do the translation, conversion of the protocol with Informatica Cloud and reach to their endpoints within their environment.
Perfect, thanks. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt your flow there. It was going great.
No problems. Thanks, Glad. As you saw, the two patterns, we are addressing those two patterns with what we are calling as Cloud Service and Process Integration offering in Informatica Cloud. It's now available, and you can learn a lot about this technology in the URL that's mentioned below. That's on Informatica Cloud. We also have some very in-depth demo of the use case that I just went over. As you can see in this slide, there are two views for our customers. One is the modeling and the developer view. Those are the integration developers who would actually use that tool, and the process analysts can actually model their business processes if that's what you want to do from ground up. And on the right-hand side, what you have is the process and service monitor, and this allows you to do an end-to-end transaction management and process management. It also allows you to manage your sandboxes, so it has an administrative console as well that allows you to do license management, capacity planning, capacity management, as well as user management. So this gives you a view of Service and Process Designer. What we are introducing in this release is an Eclipse-based process designer. So most of your integration developers should be very familiar with the tooling. It is a configuration environment. So what you need is a little bit of an XML skills here, but generally you don't need to write any code with this platform, with this designer. And this here actually shows you the video, the recording that we have on Informatica Cloud. You actually, as you can see here, you can invoke the process console, the process monitor from within Informatica Cloud environment, and then it takes you to various different services, as I mentioned, transaction management, user management, all of that, including the whole end-to-end business process management. So again, to summarize, what we are introducing with this cloud process and service integration is you can address patterns such as cloud service integration. For lack of better word, in the cloud, we are calling it SOA in the cloud. You can do things such as process orchestration and process automation. And other beauty of this platform now with Informatica Cloud, given that everything is unified as one integration platform, you can actually move across your integration pattern. So if you are starting from service and process integration, and if you have to invoke a batch integration, which I don't feel that it's far-fetched, it's actually very relevant use case where you may have some real-time work, but that needs to then do batch integration depending on some of the IDs that are coming in from the service flows. So you can actually cut across different paradigms of integration with this unified platform. The scenarios that we support with this platform is cloud to cloud and cloud to on-premise. So both the use cases had some level of on-premise access as well as cloud access, and you can see that we will do that seamlessly. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a fully multi-tenant service. You don't have to configure any of the underlying resources. You never even see your underlying infrastructure as a service resources ever. And the full lifecycle management can be managed from the cloud. This technology is fully open standards based, and I'm going to talk about the standards that it supports. And as I covered, it has a very high productivity tooling for your integration developers and process analysts. How did Informatica reach here? Informatica is, if you have been following Informatica news, we acquired a technology earlier this year called Active Endpoints, and that actually brought in the real strong process orchestration and automation capabilities, which is now the underpinning of Informatica Cloud. The technology and standards that this offering supports, as you can see, it supports all the relevant standards for the cloud integration. This is a cloud service. And it has a full support for REST. It has full support for SOAP. It does things such as reliable messaging, which is very, very critical when you are doing some mission-critical work with this platform. As I mentioned earlier, you have a modeling environment, which is BPMN 2.0 compliant, and an execution environment, which is BPEL 2.0 compliant, and a very strong and rich support for expression language, including XPath, XQuery, and security and policy support that includes WS Policy, WS Security, and OAuth. So that definitely is one of the big things which we announced with Winter 2014. But that's not it. There's a lot of other very significant services that were introduced in Winter 2014, and let me go over to the next one, which is the global repository. So as most of you who are using Informatica Cloud today are maybe familiar with Marketplace. And what we do with Marketplace is you can actually procure integrations which are built by third-party partners or third-party developers or by Informatica, and then you can leverage that and get head start onto your integrations. We are taking that concept forward by supporting a crowdsourcing model. What I mean by that is you can, as a developer, as an integration developer, you can collaborate with your peers, not just within your organization, but if you need to, you can actually collaborate across organizations or in public to develop an integration process or an integration workflow. And you can share and distribute that content, and you have access control to the level at which you want to go. So as this particular snapshot shows you, that all organizations and all users can actually consume what we are calling as an integration bundles, can consume it. And there is a concept of authoring it. So if you are an author, if you are a developer and you want to collaborate on an integration artifact, you can do that and create your own bundles and then provision it to appropriate Informatica Cloud accounts. So either within your own organization or across organizations if you want to do so, or in public if you want that integration to be public. So this is a very powerful capability that will bring a lot of developers, like-minded people together to develop an integration artifact and keep improving it on. It has a good support for versioning and things like that, so you can actually have a good tab on what is being developed and how people are consuming it and what the downstream impact is likely to be. The next feature I want to talk about is the midstream writer. So this is a very strong capability that we are bringing in at the data integration tier. So typically data integrations are thought to be between source and target, and then some lookups in between, which are more reads. What we are introducing with Winter 2014 is the capability to even write midstream. So that can actually open up, allow you to do much more advanced integrations, and a simple example could be that you have an integration which deals with stock market. Let's say I'm making it up here, and it needs to bring in the right data from stock trading. So you're reading it, and then let's say that in between you want to actually even write some of that information back and then proceed towards your target. You can actually do that. So midstream writer will allow you to do much more advanced integrations in Informatica Cloud than some of the customers may find very valuable. And this snapshot shows about how easy it is to map fields. It's the same interface that you have been used to with Informatica Cloud. You will be able to just map between the source and the target, and now including midstream. The next feature I want to cover at a high level is the outbound messaging support. So most of you who are using Informatica Cloud may be familiar that we have outbound messaging support at a task level. What we call task is a runnable integration. And we are taking that concept forward within Winter 2014 release to even allow outbound messaging support at a reusable integration, or what we call as templates. So you can build your reusable integrations, which then can be provisioned or offered to your downstream organization, your LOBs, or your partners or customers, and you can have the outbound messaging support as part of your integration. So that's something something which we enhanced our templating capabilities to handle some asynchronous support that we didn't have in the previous release. So this actually covered, and as you can see, we covered 4 key technologies on Informatica Cloud. We introduced service and process integration, which is a new offering. We introduced global repository, which is a significant new enhancement to our platform. We introduced midstream writer, which is at a data integration and data flow level, and outbound messaging for reusable integrations. I'll quickly move into the next section, which covers test data management. And this is again a new additional service that we offer with Informatica Cloud. Is there on public website if you want to take a look at the details. And what this is that what we are seeing more and more now is customers have quite a few sandboxes, sometimes dozens and even more. And managing those sandboxes is a big challenge. Because number one, not just that you have to manage those sandboxes, but you have to manage the data within those sandboxes. And a creation of those data from scratch is a time-consuming and a very unproductive exercise. It is an error-prone. It introduces it, and again, the other thing is, even after spending so much of cycles and time on that, it is never reflecting. It hardly reflects what your production data is. So what we are doing is we are making loading of those sandboxes very easy with our test data management services. And so you can directly point to your production data source and then mask those data on the wire, and what you see as an end result in your sandbox is actually masked data. So it is a replica of production, but it is hiding all the sensitive information around, for example, your name, addresses, telephone numbers, social security numbers, credit card numbers. All of those can be masked on the wire when it's moving from your production environment to your test data. You can also define how much test data you want, so by number of rows, how big you want your test data to be, and you can also define the hierarchy. So we have various capability that can move one object, you can move multiple objects, or you can move a whole hierarchy, so whole schema, if you will. You just point to, for example, an account object on Salesforce. It will automatically detect all the related objects to that account object, and you can select those and then move that across. So you can, in one click, you are moving the whole schema and with the data to your sandbox environment. And this, we believe, is going to be a significant will improve the productivity of our customers, and also will improve the quality of integrations that they are developing on the test data with their sandbox environment. The next big offering that we announced in Winter 2014 is data quality web services. And what we are doing is we are exposing data quality rules as a service on Informatica Cloud. And these services can be accessed by SOAP calls, not just from within Informatica integrations, but also from your third-party applications and your SaaS applications directly. So this is, again, a very valuable functionality that is coming in to clean your data, to ensure that your data is always as you expected it to be. And the offering includes various packages. So if you look at our marketplace, all of this is listed on our marketplace, and is also offered on this URL that's mentioned here. We have standardization services, DQ services, validation. We also have services by different regions. So if you are in Europe and you want address standardization and validation services for Europe, you have package for that. You have it for North America and so on. We also do it by verticals. And to begin with, we are introducing it with healthcare and financial data. So again, very, very strong and valuable offer around the data management applications. This slide just gives you a view. All of this if you have license for DQ services, what you will see on Informatica Cloud is a listing of all of the services that you are licensed for, and then you would have the SOAP signature that you need to use in your third-party applications or from within Informatica Cloud integrations. At this point, let me hand this over to Clive to cover Cloud Extend and some of the other significant news around Informatica Cloud.
Perfect. Thanks, Prateek. So to everybody, I see all your questions coming in, so I think we'll have a great Q&A session afterwards. But let me just wrap up with some Cloud Extend features. So in the summer release, those of you who were following Cloud Extend, which is the process automation for Salesforce, we introduced a we introduced a native iPhone app that allowed the end user to walk through various processes. Now with the Winter 14 release, the developers haven't been sat idle. They've actually got we've got an early access to a native Android app, so allow you to provide the sort of self-same functionality to your users. So and you can go and download that and connect it to your from Google Play and connect it to your Cloud Extend environment. So really, let me just summarize. So we had process integration, we've had outbound messaging support, we had test data management upgrades, we've launched new cloud data quality services, a new Android app. Did I forget? What did I forget?
You forgot service and process integration.
Service and probably the biggest feature of all, service and process integration. So a tremendously packed release, I think, by anybody's means. So congratulations to all the developers there who did a massive effort to get that work done and get that out. And hopefully you as customers, partners, and potential prospects will see the benefit of that. So now I'm coming on to a shameless plug for next week. As you see on the slide there, November 18th, we're going to be at Dreamforce. We've got a couple of booths. Let me tell you specifically what we're doing, so hopefully you can swing by and see us. So we're going to do actually a data assessment survey at Dreamforce. Now, you don't have to go to Dreamforce to partake in this survey, because we're very interested in collecting some data around how folks are using data within their SaaS applications. So there's 5 very quick questions at this URL, which is DA Survey, and the winner, I think, if I won't be too remiss in saying, I think we'll announce the winner on the webinar on December 10th. So there's a plug there. But one lucky winner will actually get this customized scooter, and if you're at Dreamforce, you can swing by and you'll be able to see it in the flesh. So a plug, please, everybody, go and do the survey. Not right now, don't stay with the webinar, but go and do the survey, and we'll publish all the data afterwards, and we'll have some great insights there. So the other things we're doing at Dreamforce, we've got Eric Johnson, the Informatica CIO, is going to do a keynote on Wednesday afternoon. Ron Lunassen, most of you are familiar with. We've done a bunch of webinars with Ron in the past. He's going to do a nice session on big data. I myself am going to do a lunchtime roundtable session. I think that's on Wednesday, and we're going to talk about tips for data integration, dedupe, workflow automation. We're going to do process as well, so come and ask me and test my knowledge there, and I give you some tips. As I said, we've got 2 booths. Dreamforce is massive this year, so I think there's 120,000 folks at the last count that are going to attend. So there's 2 exhibition halls, and we've got a presence in both expo halls. If you actually want to swing by and set up some dedicated time to come and speak to us, then please send an email to cloudintegrationanswers@Informatica, and we can sort out some time. Or of course, speak to your local rep. And if there's anything else I've missed out, go to informaticacloud.com/df13. We'll tell you and give you all the info about where I see where you can find our booths, and if you forget anything that I mentioned in the previous slides. So with that was a ton of stuff that we covered in about 40 minutes. So that was very good. So some questions and answers. So the first question I've got is let me just see there. How is the data quality services sold and purchased? Those actually are on a subscription basis. Those of you that are very familiar with the sort of address doctor model, whereby you can validate X number of addresses, the similar thing goes with the data quality services, whereby you purchase a number of essentially transactions that you want to do and validate your data. So hopefully that answers our guest question.
Yeah, so, Clive, I see also one more question which says, how do I monetize from global repository? Can I develop my own integration? So the answer is absolutely. That's the whole idea. So if you are a developer and you want to actually create some either vertical integration or horizontal, whatever may be, but if you have a right integration, you can actually develop it with the global repository, make it available to the community, and monetize from marketplace. So that's the intent, and we definitely encourage all our partners and developers out there to actually share your contributions so that the rest of the community can benefit from.
Thanks very much. I've got a question here. Is Informatica Cloud available on Amazon Web Services? If so, can you send me the URL? Well, I think if I answer it first, and then Prateek, you can go into more detail. But it's its own cloud. You sign up for the services at informaticacloud.com. We have a 30-day instant trial that you can try the services for 30 days, and you'll get access to everything. Do you want to embellish that answer, Prateek?
So yes, as Clive mentioned, this is a cloud-based service. So you can actually sign up, try it out, and then see how it fits your requirements. The other part I would add on Amazon is if there is a question around whether it integrates with Amazon, the answer is yes. So it integrates with Amazon's Redshift. We just announced recently Amazon Redshift connector, and you can use that. So if any of you are doing data warehousing in the cloud where you are using Redshift as the storage endpoint, we can integrate with that.
Oh, in fact, there was the question just popped up. Have there been how can I connect to Amazon Redshift? So
great.
There's also a question. How can I get access to the service and process integration? Is it automatically provisioned and stuff like that? I think the best advice there is to talk to your rep about that, because we're doing essentially a controlled rollout. So we want to make sure that every customer is successful with this technology. So contact us with the contact page or your rep, and we'll help you get started with service and process integration.
Yeah. The people who already use Informatica Cloud, you need to turn on the licensing. You probably are familiar with it, like any other packages or connectors. So you need to turn on the service and process integration license. So you need to talk to your rep to enable that. And after that, you have this capability turned on for you, and you can start developing your integrations with the tooling that I covered earlier.
There's a nice question here, actually. Do we support real-time DI in the cloud? So that's a very good question, right? So Prateek, would you?
Yeah, the answer is yes. We do support real-time. If real-time is real-time, right? So DI service and process, answer is yes. Yeah. So with this new technology, you can actually, as I mentioned earlier, you can cut across the three paradigms, and you can address it. We'll have to look at the exact requirement to suggest as to how you would go about it, but the answer is Informatica Cloud has the underlying technologies to get you real-time data.
So I can see there's tons and tons of questions that probably need more specific answers than I can give generally on this webinar. So I'm actually going to say to our guests that have questions, we are definitely going to follow up with your questions if they haven't been answered. Next steps, please contact us if you have any questions in particular. So use the contact form, talk to your rep, send us an email, and we'll get back to you. Please take the data survey. As I said, that we're going to use that data and publish that in a webinar. Get social, tell a friend. So follow us on InfoCloud on Twitter. All our updates go through that Twitter handle too. And if you're planning to be at Dreamforce, come swing by, come see us. We won't buy unless you want us to. And the booth number is N1925 and W631. we'll have a nice big presence. With that, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. I'd like to thank Prateek in particular for doing such a splendid job. And hopefully, everybody, we will see you on the next webinar. So thank you.
Thanks, Clive.
Thanks, Prateek.